everyone, and welcome to John Talks Indian Cinema. I am your host, the Indian Cinemaniac, back with another 10ish-minute review. Okay, so I'm shifting the order around a little bit, and the reason I'm going to do that is because it was pointed out to me the Thug Life is coming out beginning of June, and it is going to be playing at the theater I go to watch these films. So I am going to see that. So someone recommended a film for me to watch before that came out. So I'm putting it ahead of some of the other ones that I already have edited. Okay. So, and this was recommended. Actually, a few of them were recommended, but I decided to watch this one because a couple of you chimed in on it. The film is from 1987. It is another Kamal Haasan film called Nayakan. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Nayakan. And it was recommended by Harshia Haha. Harshia Haha. And El Koshi also was giving me watch this film before Thug Life comes out. So that's what I did. It's directed by Nani Ratnam, who also directed Guru, which I liked. Stars Kamal Hassan, who I've seen in a bunch of stuff. Hey Ram, Good, Bad, Ugly recently, and Mankatha. Oh, wait a minute, not Good, Bad, Ugly. That wasn't him. Hey Ram, Hey Ram for sure. Vikram, um, and he was pretty amazing in this film. Saranya Ponvannan, who I've seen in 24. Delhi Ganesh, Janagaraj, Karthika, and Nassar, who was in Bahubali 1 and 2, Anion, and Game Changer. Most of them I did not know. Time magazine in 2005 rated this film as one of the 100 best films of all time. Not Indian film, best film. It's based on Kamal Hassan's character is based on an actual Tamil gangster, Varadarajan Middleire. I hope I'm saying that right. Um, and I was told that this film is, it's not a remake of one of my top 10, maybe top 5 films of all time, The Godfather. And it's not. There are things in it that are definitely homages to The Godfather. In fact, I would say that it really takes elements of Godfather 1 and 2. And there are callbacks throughout this film, scenes that are taken directly from those films. Now, I think The Godfather is, like I said, one of the greatest films of all time. I think The Godfather is a better film than this. I will say this. Now, I loved Marlon Brando in The Godfather, but Kamal Hassan's portrayal of his character is pretty stunning, pretty amazing. And I guess I shouldn't now. If you notice here, I always take notes, right? Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages of notes, and that's very rare. And I don't want to do a story breakdown because that'll just freaking take forever. But the story is about a a young boy who sees his father murdered, shot. Who his father was a union boss, and there's not a lot of backstory to this. It just starts off with this little boy seeing his father killed, and and by cops, by the way, by cops. At his father's funeral, he ends up stabbing the head cop, and now he's got to run away, and he ends up in I think it was it Mumbai? I think that's right. I think it was Bombay. I don't think it was Mumbai because it wasn't Mumbai at the time. Um, he gets he goes to this village and he ends up being taken in by a family. And now they flash to him being an adult um, where he mouths off to police and gets beat up and gets dumped in the mud. Now he's not a criminal yet, but now his adoptive father is a smuggler, and he can't do it one time, so he ends up doing it. He ends up smuggling. Um, and he's clever because he outsmarts the cops. And also, where his father was only getting 200 rupees, he's getting 2,000. Um, so right away, okay, he's a crook, but he's a smart crook. And then there's a scene. Now he's a young guy, right? So he starts off young, like Brando. Well, excuse me, not Brando, because that was played by Robert De Niro. Unlike Brando, he plays young to old in this film and does excellent, like amazing performance, amazing makeup too, very realistic makeup. It wasn't overly prosthetic. He put a thing in his mouth to make his face fuller. They did some stuff with his hair and facial hair, but also it's the way he carried himself too. When he was young, till middle age, to older, he changes everything. He changes his voice. He changes his posture. It's just a pretty stunning performance. I'm getting ahead with the performances. So so basically the story continues where he grows his empire, and he's very smart, and the village loves him because he's kind of like Robin Hood. He does this stuff, but he takes care of the village, so they're not going to turn on him. And to give you an example of what he's like, he ends up at a whorehouse with a prostitute, young girl, and she's trying to get him to finish faster, and he's like, why? Because she's got an exam the next day at school. And she was in grade 10th standard. Now, I don't know if that's like US 10th grade. I don't know what 10th standard is, but she was very young. So he says, you know what? Stay here and study, and you'll do well in your exams. That's how he meets his future wife. So nothing happens. Now his adopted father gets hung, which is awful, and he ends up killing a dirty cop. But again, the village won't turn on him. The cops are trying to figure out who did it. The village won't turn on him. He gets married, and that's that. So it's his progression. He gets married. He has kids. The son gets involved in the business. The daughter wants nothing to do with it because he's a criminal. Um, he goes against rival gangs, and that's again the five families of the Godfather, right? They're all sitting around, and he's gonna do some stuff, and there's resentment among the older gang because he's a young guy, and it gets to the point where he's gonna kill the members of the five family, and this is right out of the Godfather. One of the gangsters gets killed. Um, he gets shot several times. Another one is with a hooker, and the guy goes in and shoots him. Another one gets garroted, which is again right out of the Godfather, shot through the eye. So now it's a gang war, and he sends his kids away. Now, and he's progressing as he gets older. So he gets older and older, and then finally, so there's this one character who's a little slow, and you realize in the earlier scenes he killed a cop, and this kid is the son of that cop who works for Velu, who is Hassan's character, and he's slow, but he makes him an inspector, and it was so predictable what was going to happen that towards the end of the film he finds out that Velu is the one who killed his father, and he exacts revenge upon Velu at the end of the film. Totally predictable though. And again, it's the downfall, and everybody who he loves ends up getting killed. His wife, his son, his daughter, in a way. Um, it, it, so it's the rise and the fall of this lead character, Velu, and it was incredible. It really was incredible. And the story I give a four to. I mean, normally I would give it less because when it's a remake like this, not a remake, but it's a lot of the elements of The Godfather, but it's the way they weave the story because it was not a straight out remake. Elements of it, absolutely. And this director loves it. In fact, there's a video that I watched on YouTube of Kamal Haasan imitating Brando.
I don't know. I wanted you to be my friend. But on the day of my daughter's marriage, you come to me and ask me to do murder for money.
Brilliant.
He does that.
Wow.
It's a really interesting interview, but their love of that movie is evident in this film. So I give the story a four. Now, as far as performances go, look, I thought all the performances were really good, but it's his performance that carries this film. And as I said earlier, his the way he starts and the way he finishes, the arc that he does physically, vocally, mannerisms is pretty incredible. Very realistically done. Like I said, the old age makeup isn't like these big, huge prosthetics. It's subtle stuff that you would think someone, who would realistically age, that's what it would be like. But again, it was his posture, it was his voice. He was amazing in this. He really was incredible. So I'm going to give, for that reason, I'm going to give the performances a five. Now the music, and there was a lot of music in this. The first song it goes along with the opening credits, and it's him walking through Mumbai alone after his father gets killed and he runs away, and the song is "Who Could Have Hurt Him." So the next song is at a club, and the song is "My Smile Is As Bright as Diwali," as they're watching a beautiful woman dancing. Third song after he gets married, and it's also the first time he makes love to his wife, and it does a little montage of their blossoming marriage. Fourth song after he saves a child, and now he's in the rain and in the mud celebrating, and there's a lot of rain and a lot of mud in this movie. That is a constant theme. The next scene is they're smuggling, and this is a funny scene. And his buddy, who's his right-hand man, has a girl on the boat. And she starts doing this big dance number on the boat. And they get boarded by the police, but they were clever and not having anything on there. So I thought that was funny. The sixth song was about his wife who died, killed by the rival gangs. And again, they go back to the song "Who Could Have Hurt Him." The seventh song is at a funeral, his son's funeral, and again, it's the reprise of "Who Could Have Hurt Him." So that's the theme. And then finally, after he's shot, and he's lying there, and his life is flashing before him, and he's flashing back scenes from the film, and again, that song is playing "Who Could Have Hurt Him." Again, the music didn't blow me away, didn't bother me, so whenever that happens, I give it a three. So overall, my verdict on this film, I have to say, was I give it a four. I think four is appropriate for this one. I will tell you, it felt a little long to me. And I know Indian films are long. We say that all the time. But there were times when it did feel a little bit long. But again, I have to say, his performance was just so good in this movie. that I'm glad I saw it, and now that I've seen this, I'm looking forward to Thug Life too, because he's quite a good actor. The stuff I've seen him in, I've really been. And I think the first time I saw him was in Vikram, and I thought it was great. Thought it was great. Okay, so that's what I think. So I got a good lead in to Thug Life. So I'm excited about that. Oh, hey, by the way, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button. By the way, if you're a loyal watcher, hit the like button. It makes a difference. Small thing to you, big thing to me. Okay, so, oh yeah, now I have to give you my recommendation. Okay, the film I am going to recommend. Now, you guys know I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I was actually a much bigger Star Trek fan, the original series, not the Next Generation. Although I like the Next Generation, for me, the OG is Star Trek, the original series. So I am going to recommend the best of the Star Trek original series film. And which one is that, you say? Which one is it? What do you think it is? That's right. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Directed by Nicholas Meyer, starring William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelly, and as a fantastic villain, Ricardo Montalban as Khan Noonan Singh. I love that movie. The first Star Trek, the original, the first movie, Star Trek: The Motion Picture, was visually incredible. And after watching that on TV, seeing it on the big screen was a big deal. But it wasn't a Star Trek movie. It just wasn't. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't Star Trek. Wrath of Khan was Star Trek because Star Trek is about the three characters, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. And this had it. It dealt with Kirk's aging. It went much more, because of Nicholas Meyer, they went much more nautical. The uniforms, the whistle. But it was also, Khan was a great villain. And the space battles, which were done by Industrial Light and Magic, George Lucas's company, was fantastic. I mean, that scene where the two ships are in the not the Kobayashi, the cloud. What, I can't remember, the Motara Nebula. That's what it is. We have just entered the Motara Nebula. That is right out of every World War II submarine movie you ever saw. The way they're crossing over each other, and then the space battles. Just fantastic, fantastic movie. And again, I think the best Star Trek movie that has been made on all of them, but definitely for the original series. So, if you're a Star Trek fan, and if you haven't seen it, that's the one you got to watch. You got to watch it, Captain. They put creatures in our bodies. I just loved it, and they're quoting, I spit at thee. Oh, it's just a great scene. Khan. It's just great. Love it. William Shatner at his best too, by the way. Okay, so check it out if you haven't had a chance. Okay, that's it. That's my review. So we'll talk to you soon with either 10ish-minute review or a 10ish-minute trailer reaction. And as always, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. மான் போல வந்தவனே யாரடித்தாரோ 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 யாரடித்தாரோ